When it comes to what's happening in Wayne County and the North Carolina area, look no further than Taylor House Publishing. If you have a story that needs to be told, please contact us via email at taylorhousepublishing@gmail.com.
The man that you see on your screen is 31-year-old Johnathan Tyler Fields. Now, Mr. Fields was found behind a residence in the 3600 block of Wayne Memorial Drive on May the 2nd, 2024 at 8:45 p.m. Mr. Fields' death is the sixth or seventh death in a string of mysterious deaths where bodies have been found in various locations, where the cause of death is virtually unknown but suspected to be a drug overdose. Now, my name is Richard Taylor, and I've been covering a lot of these stories. And welcome to the Taylor House Publishing channel. If you would like, share, and also subscribe to this channel for more informative information here in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Common occurrence within the last 3 or 4 weeks. If you follow this channel, you know it was a string a few weeks ago where a death happened every day, which was suspected of an overdose. And there has been no conclusion to this matter. Now, right after those 4 or 5 deaths that were deemed an overdose, there was a couple also who was killed in their home. And from the information that I am getting, not saying that it is true or not, that this couple may have had some ties to those individuals or individuals in that homeless population who allegedly overdosed from tainted drugs in the area. And so the theory came about that was presented to me where as maybe that couple who were killed may have had something to do. Now, these are not my words. These are theories that have been brought to me do or been connected to those deaths in some manner, and that is why they met their demise. Now, and as I mentioned to a few people that mentioned those things to me, well, after their deaths, there hadn't been any more suspected overdoses. However, this death, which is a suspected overdose, refutes that theory. And there evidently is more tainted substances if this is the cause of death. Now, the family member did not give me a cause of death. And the family member was told that the authorities did not perform an autopsy because, as they stated, there were no visible signs of foul play, which is also, I think, unacceptable, because whether or not there is visible signs of foul play, there still should be an autopsy. Now, even though Mr. Fields was not homeless, it is stated that he was hanging with some members of the homeless population the night before his death, some suspected members of the homeless population. And at the time of his demise, he had a backpack on him which had toiletries and, some hygiene items maybe a change of clothes, and also some, if I'm not mistaken, prescription pills, a little medicine, and he was found with money on him. So that may be the reason why investigators, authorities did not take his death as serious, because they put him in the context of another homeless drug addict who met their fate untimely. And as the relative began, to share more information, she also stated that a lot of people, from her post, and I'll show you that post. And remember, we're reaching out to her. She actually indicated that other families from the other individuals who died reached out to her, and they stated that they had not heard anything from the investigators for a while. And so that leads me to believe, as with this individual's relatives, that investigators sometimes may see these deaths and they say, okay, well, just another overdose, closed case, lock up the key, and put the case in the file cabinet, and if we get lucky, we will. But there doesn't seem to be an urgent sense of, we need to investigate these deaths. In my opinion, I don't know. I'm not a law enforcement officer, but these don't seem to be taken serious if a lot of these families have not heard any word from investigators. It's almost like, on the other hand, on the flip side, a lot of these shootings that have happened and the individuals pass away, their record is sometimes thrown around in articles, and there seems to be not an urgency to find out their killers. But nevertheless, this seems to be a case, and it actually has not been publicized. Like I just mentioned to another individual, and there was no news coverage. There should have been, with the other articles that came about, 4 people have died in 4 days. This should have been, okay, well, this is the 5th person in a matter of weeks that has died from suspected tainted drugs. But unfortunately, there has not been much coverage of this incident, and that's why the family reached out to me so I can shed light on this case. Now, I'm going to show you the place where Mr. Fields was found, and this place is a residence right by the corner of Tommy's Road and the overpass. Now, this residence, as you can see, it is surrounded by a large field, some open fields here. And this is the residence that was told that the body was found. They said the 3600 block of Wayne Memorial, and this is actually 3608. And I was told, as you can see, that some farm workers lived there. Now, apparently, according to the relative, the farm workers came home and found the body in the backyard at 8:45 p.m. Now, as you see here, that residence does have a truck with farm equipment around it, and there's a large, once again, back area in this place. Now, the family member also told me that there were, according to the police report, and I'm going to show you guys the police report as well. According to the police report, there is 2 individuals who quote unquote found the body, and as you can see, the individuals are Abraham Augustin Castaneda and Manuel Antonio Gomez. Now, and when the individual told me that they were farm workers, then I said it sounds like they may be, immigrants of Hispanic descent. And according to these names, even though as you see they list the race as white, which is a whole nother video, these individuals seem to be of Hispanic descent, which confirms maybe that this is the house that they found the body in. Now, also, while I was out taking pictures, the gentleman came out, two gentlemen came out, and, I asked them, was this the house where they found the body at? And, of course, he hit me with the, I don't really speak English type of deal. And, as another person came to the door, I was like, okay, all right, peace and blessings. And I left. So, this individual place, now mind you, his body was found at 8:45 p.m. in the backyard of this residence. And so, according to family members' theories, they feel that maybe his body was dumped after whatever happened to him happened. So let's go to the night before his demise. Now, the night before his demise, the relative said that the gentleman, Johnathan, called another relative of his and was asking for a ride to a relative's house. Now, I don't know the extent of that conversation. Evidently, that relative was unable to give him a ride. Now, also, according to this Facebook post, which was made in response to the family members putting the information about her brother out there. Now, this individual says, my neighbor was told that the workers came home from working and located a body in their yard that evening. As a crime junkie myself, my first thought would be the location would be a quick place to dump someone if there was any type of foul play. Also, there is a bad string of drugs going around town that has made the news. Knowing he was with a group asking for money based on other people's responses would lead me to think that they took the money from him, or someone in the group could be possibly tied to the bad string of drugs. Whatever happened, someone purposely put him there purposely. Some other places that may have cameras or a witness that I would reach out to would be Tommy's Road gas station, Walmart gas station, Tommy's Road, and Bojangles on Wayne Memorial, just trying to help and give possible places to develop new leads. Now, according to, once again, individuals who responded to that post, Mr. Tyler was seen with a group of individuals at the Sheets. Now, if anybody knows where the Sheets is on Spence Avenue, and there is a large homeless population that frequents that area. And so I was told that because of the post that the relative made, she received a lot of messages saying that people saw Johnathan with a group of 4 guys, somewhere in their early 20s, on or about, and they were all asking for money. And one person told the relative that Johnathan was saying that we have to stick together, whatever that means at that particular time. Nevertheless, that was the last time that anybody saw him or anybody could place him alive. Now, just today, the relative sent me this string of a screenshot of Mr. Fields' telephone. Now, this looks like a Facebook message through Messenger, but I'm going to show you this. Now, this is May 2nd at 2:38 a.m., which means he was still alive at 2:38 a.m. And his statement says Sheets in Goldsboro, and he said fire. So that leads me to believe that he was at the Sheets in Goldsboro. The next message that he sends to someone is, "Do you want to make $100?" And that is at 7:23 a.m., approximately 12 hours before his death. And then he missed an audio call. It doesn't say from who. And then he tells the person, "Just need you to pick something up from the pawn shop." And then he missed another audio call. Then the person responds, "I'm in class." And then he asked her, "What time are you getting out? It won't take but 20 minutes. You don't have any felonies, do you?" And so when he asked about that, once again, that may lead me to believe now, because I have felonies, and when you're talking about getting something from the pawn shop, and the pawn shop doesn't ask you if you have any felonies if you are getting a gold chain, or a piano or a guitar. The only reason that you have to worry about having a felony is if you're trying to purchase a firearm. So maybe that was what Mr. Fields was inquiring about. We can't do nothing, but speculate. But this leads me to believe that he was alive at 7:45 or 7:25 a.m. having a conversation with someone. Now, also the relative told me that his phone was not found, but the relative said that they had called the phone and the phone is still on and it is ringing. And what's strange is the relative told me that they shared that information with the police, and the investigator seemed surprised. "Oh, the phone is still on and it's ringing?" And so uh, that is strange that the detectives did not know that information. Had they not called the phone and tried to, locate the phone or locate his location via the phone? It was told to me that, every time that Mr. Tyler used the phone, um, he was, he had to be somewhere where there was Wi-Fi. And so that may pinpoint his location at the time of these messages that you just saw. And another thing that the family member informed me of was that Mr. Tyler was very fluent in Spanish. He had spent some time in Mexico, in California, and according to the relative, like, he can hold a literal conversation in Spanish. And so, being that the gentleman who found the body are those of Hispanic descent, and actually, once again, as I mentioned, I went out to the residence and spoke with the gentlemen who were Spanish. He may or may have not had some type of connection with these gentlemen. Once again, I'm not sure, but the fact that he was found behind this house 12 hours later from being at Sheets asking for money is almost plausible that something happened to him and he was dumped there. I don't see him just walking and wandering off, especially if someone is in an overdose state. And according to his sister, was also visually impaired in some regards. So he wouldn't have been able to walk, that far, especially at night or in those time frames without some assistance. And talking to the relative further, there were some concerns that she had in the past Once again, he was not homeless. He would stay with this relative and another relative with whom stayed in Goldsboro. And, she did mention a long text from him on about April the 27th where he did not sound like himself. And, she mentioned maybe there may have been some substance abuse, possibly methamphetamines, and the way that she described the conversation as it being, something that did not represent her brother on a normal level, uh, attest or attribute that from what I've been told about people who use methamphetamine, that they are very talkative and they sometimes, talk and ramble on. And according to the sister, that was a long, long rambling message. And I actually I got a call the other night from a lady who had to be on something because she went to rambling on about aliens and doppelgangers and things of that nature. So that may be also a factor in this because, as you know, a lot of the people who died within that time frame were, according to information given to me, not confirmed, were people who use that substance. Now, also, we know that that substance has been tainted or been known to be tainted with the very deadly substance, fentanyl. And so that may have been a contributing factor. Of course, with this one, there was no autopsy. The family informs me that they are waiting on a toxicology report from this incident. And so, as of now, the family is still searching for answers. Once again, the family, the grandparents, reached out to one another relatives, and they told that relative to get in contact with me. And I'm humbled that older grandparents who are watching this channel felt the need that I may can shed some light on this situation. So as of today, May the 14th, there has been no information um, regarding this death publicly. I haven't seen anything in the Goldsboro Daily News, the News Argus, or anything. I've asked a few people about it, and one person did mention that they did hear about it, but where is the fanfare because of this death? If this is a epidemic or a crisis that's going on in the community, then why has this death been kind of swept under the rug and non-publicized like the rest of the deaths that we have seen? It seems to me that if this community is experiencing a problem, then this problem needs to be spoken out loud and not kind of glossed under to save face for either the city management, the city leaders, or what have you. I know Mayor Gaylor, made a article. I meant to cover that article, but he spoke about the situations, but what is really being done about these deaths. Even though some of the people are experiencing mental health or substance abuse issues, they are still people and they still have family members that love them. So their death should be treated just as urgent as, if it was, God forbid, the mayor's brother or, the chief of police's sister or, whoever, any prominent individual in the county. These deaths should be also investigated with the same fervor, with the same diligence, with the same uh, with the same concentration as any other deaths in this community. But once again, we are offering condolences to the family of Johnathan Fields, who was found on May the 2nd, 2024. in the backyard of a house that was reportedly used by farm workers. And he was seen with some individuals. He had a conversation with an individual at 7:25. So this should be, a lot of evidence for authorities to begin to find out, okay, who was he last with? Who did he get such and such from? Or, what actually happened to Mr. Field. So I think that this family member has been very diligent in providing lots of information that should be pertinent to piece together what happened to her dear brother, Mr. Johnathan Fields. But once again, somebody know what has happened. I thank all the people who commented on the video and alerted the family member to the fact that he was actually seen at Sheet. So, if there's anybody who has any information to this, feel free to reach out 919-587-7782. Or you can, reach out to your local authorities. But, as we know, that something, somebody, always knows what happened in this season. And, Johnathan was sort of a drifter. So he, once again, I mentioned he lived in Mexico, he lived in California, he lived in Swain County. He's sort of like my uncle. Who, you can just wake up anyway. Like you can be walking down the streets of New York and you can see him there, and which happened a couple of times. A couple of my family members saw him somewhere, but he was, evidently someone who was able to get around to different places. So I'm not sure if people knew him from around this area. I've asked a couple of people, and they said they may have knew him, but if anybody know, once again, Mr. Johnathan Fields, and have seen his whereabouts, please let the family reach out to the family, or reach out to me, and I'll reach out to the family, and give them any pertinent information that may help to bring them closure. Nevertheless, peace and blessings. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.